Improve yourself 1% every day. Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to talk about something truly transformative, improving yourself 1% at a time. It's not about making drastic overnight changes, but small, consistent steps that lead to extraordinary results. We live in a world that constantly demands growth, excellence, and evolution. And the secret to achieving that, a commitment to 1% improvement every single day. Let's take a journey together, not toward perfection, but toward progress, because progress, not perfection, is the key to lasting success. Ladies and gentlemen, don't wait for the perfect moment to start improving. The moment is here. Take that 1% step and let it lead you toward becoming the best version of yourself. Remember, growth isn't an event, it's a daily practice. So let's rise step by step and become the change we wish to see in ourselves. Embrace the power of small steps. Change is not a lightning bolt, it's a gentle tide. Too often, we are paralyzed by the idea that transformation requires massive, overwhelming action. But the truth is, greatness is built on a foundation of small, intentional steps. Imagine climbing a mountain. If you try to leap to the top in one bound, you'll stumble and fall. But if you take it one step at a time, pacing yourself with purpose, eventually, you'll stand at the summit victorious. Each day is an opportunity to move forward, not by leaps, but by inches. And those inches matter. They matter because they create momentum, and momentum is what drives growth. Every small decision, whether it's choosing to wake up a little earlier, read a single chapter of a book, or spend an extra 5 minutes perfecting your craft, brings you closer to your goals. Think about the power of compounding. Just like money in a bank account grows with consistent deposits, your skills, knowledge, and discipline grow with consistent effort. That 1% might feel insignificant in the moment, but over time it transforms into something extraordinary. And let's not forget, small steps are sustainable. They don't overwhelm or burn you out. They allow you to integrate change into your life without disrupting everything else. They teach you patience. They teach you perseverance. They teach you that progress doesn't have to be loud or dramatic to be effective. When you embrace the power of small steps, you also embrace the journey itself. You begin to see the value in the process, not just the destination. You find joy in the daily effort, knowing that each little action is building towards something greater. And here's the most beautiful part: small steps make big dreams feel achievable. Instead of being daunted by the distance between where you are and where you want to be, you start focusing on the next step. And then the next. And before you know it, you've traveled further than you ever imagined. So take that small step today, write that single page, take that 5-minute walk, learn that one new thing. Each step might be small, but together they'll carry you to unimaginable heights. Consistency is the real secret to success. There's a magic in showing up, not once, not twice, but every single day. Success isn't about flashes of brilliance, it's about steady, persistent effort. Think of it like building a fire. The flame doesn't roar immediately, it takes kindling, careful attention, and consistent feeding. Consistency isn't glamorous, it's not always exciting, but it's powerful. When you show up every day, you create a rhythm, and in that rhythm lies the foundation of success. You're not waiting for motivation to strike, because motivation is fleeting. Instead, you rely on discipline, the kind of discipline that makes you unstoppable. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common: they are consistent. Whether it's an artist painting every day, an athlete training at dawn, or an entrepreneur refining their craft, the story is always the same. They didn't rely on luck or talent alone. They relied on their ability to show up even when it was hard. There will be days when you don't feel like it, days when progress seems invisible. But trust me, those are the days that matter most. Because every time you choose to show up, you're building a habit. And habits are what carry you through when motivation fades. Consistency also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. When you consistently honor your commitments, you start to believe in your own potential. You prove to yourself that you are reliable, capable, and determined. It's like watering a plant. You don't see it grow overnight, but with consistent care, one day it blooms. And that bloom is worth every single drop of water you poured into it. Remember, it's not about being perfect every day. It's about showing up, even if it's not your best, even if it's just 1% better than yesterday, because those small, consistent efforts will always outweigh sporadic bursts of energy. Consistency is what turns dreams into reality. It's what separates those who talk about their goals from those who achieve them. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it by showing up day after day. Without fail. Self-discipline turns dreams into reality. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It's the invisible thread that ties your dreams to your actions. Without it, even the grandest aspirations remain just that, dreams. And while the word discipline may sound rigid or even daunting, it is in fact your greatest ally on the road to success. Self-discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when your bed feels like the most comfortable place on earth. It's saying no to distractions that tempt you to stray from your purpose. It's staying focused on your path, no matter how many detours life throws your way. Discipline doesn't mean denying yourself joy. Quite the opposite, it ensures that the joy you experience is lasting and meaningful. It's not about punishment, it's about empowerment. It's about taking control of your life and choosing actions that align with your goals and values. Every great achievement begins with self-discipline. Think of the dancer who practices for hours until their movements are flawless. Think of the writer who dedicates time every day to put words on paper, no matter how uninspired they feel. Think of the entrepreneur who sacrifices short-term comforts to build a long-term legacy. Self-discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with use. The more you exercise it, the more natural it becomes. And soon, what once felt like an effort becomes second nature. It's no longer a struggle, it's simply who you are. But let's be honest, discipline isn't easy. It requires sacrifice. It requires saying no when it's easier to say yes. It requires staying committed when giving up feels tempting. But every time you choose discipline, you're choosing growth. You're choosing to honor your potential. Here's the truth: the world doesn't owe you success. It doesn't owe you a shortcut or a free pass. But when you have self-discipline, you don't need those things. You become your own source of power. You create your own opportunities. You turn your dreams into reality because you refuse to settle for anything less. So don't wait for inspiration to strike. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Start today. Start now. Because discipline isn't just a skill, it's a lifestyle. And it's the lifestyle that leads to greatness. Mindset shift the power of belief. What you believe about yourself shapes everything you do. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world and your place in it. And when you shift that lens to focus on possibility, progress, and potential, incredible things start to happen. Belief isn't just wishful thinking, it's the foundation of action. When you believe you can improve, you give yourself permission to try. And when you try, you open the door to growth. It's a cycle of empowerment that begins with a single thought: I can. But let's be real, doubt will creep in. Fear will try to convince you that you're not enough, that you'll fail, that it's safer to stay where you are. And that's when you need to remind yourself of this truth: your belief in yourself is stronger than any fear. Belief doesn't mean ignoring challenges, it means facing them with courage. It means saying, this is hard, but I can do it. It means choosing to see obstacles as opportunities to learn rather than reasons to quit. When you adopt a growth mindset, you stop defining yourself by where you are now. Instead, you focus on where you're going. You understand that failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a stepping stone toward it. Belief also has a way of attracting the right energy. When you carry yourself with confidence, people notice, opportunities notice, doors open for those who walk through life with the conviction that they belong. And let's not forget, belief is contagious. When you believe in yourself, you inspire others to do the same. You become a source of strength, a role model, a reminder that greatness is possible for anyone willing to pursue it. So start believing in the power of 1%. Believe that every small step matters. Believe that you are capable of growth, of change, of becoming everything you dream of being. Because when you believe, you begin. And beginning is the most important step of all. Celebrate small wins. We live in a world that glorifies big achievements. We're told to aim for the stars, to celebrate only the grandest milestones. But what about the small wins, the ones that often go unnoticed but are just as important? Small wins are the building blocks of success. They're the daily victories that remind you you're moving in the right direction. Waking up early to exercise, that's a win. Finishing a challenging task at work, another win. Taking time to care for your mental health, yet another. When you take the time to celebrate these moments, you acknowledge your effort, you honor your journey, and most importantly, you fuel your motivation to keep going. Success isn't one big moment, it's a series of small wins that add up over time. Celebrating small wins also shifts your focus from what you haven't achieved to what you have. It's easy to get caught up in the gap between where you are and where you want to be. But when you recognize your progress, you remind yourself of how far you've come. Every small win is a step forward, and every step forward brings you closer to your goals. So don't wait for the big moments to celebrate. Find joy in the little things. Clap for yourself when you accomplish something, no matter how small it may seem. And remember, Celebrating small wins doesn't mean you're settling. It means you're valuing the process. You're acknowledging that progress is made up of tiny, consistent actions. You're choosing to find happiness in the journey, not just the destination. Make it a habit to reflect on your wins each day. Write them down. Share them with a friend. Take a moment to feel proud of yourself. Because every time you do, you reinforce the belief that you're capable of achieving even greater things. Small wins are proof that you're on the right path. They're reminders that your efforts are paying off. So celebrate them, treasure them, let them inspire you to keep striving for more. Commitment to growth is empowerment. Growth is a choice. It's not something that just happens to you, it's something you consciously decide to pursue. When you commit to growth, you're taking control of your life. You're saying, I refuse to stay stagnant. I refuse to settle. This commitment doesn't mean you need to change everything overnight. Growth isn't about sudden transformations, it's about steady, intentional progress. It's about understanding that every day brings a new chance to learn, evolve, and improve. Empowerment comes from knowing that you have the power to shape your future. You are not defined by your circumstances. You are not limited by your past. When you commit to growth, you free yourself from the chains of self-doubt and embrace the infinite possibilities within you. The beauty of growth is that it's personal. It doesn't matter how fast or slow you're moving, as long as you're moving forward. Your journey is yours alone, and there's no right or wrong way to grow. What matters is that you're committed to becoming better than you were yesterday. When you commit to growth, you also embrace discomfort. Because let's be honest, growth isn't always easy. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone, facing your fears, and challenging your limits. But it's in those uncomfortable moments that you discover your strength. Growth is also about curiosity. It's about asking questions, seeking answers, and staying open to new ideas. It's about being willing to unlearn old habits and adopt new ones. It's about seeing every experience, whether good or bad, as an opportunity to grow. This commitment to growth isn't just about personal achievement, it's about empowerment. When you grow, you inspire others to grow too. You become a source of light and energy for the people around you. Your progress has a ripple effect, lifting others as you rise. It's important to remember that growth isn't a destination, it's a lifelong journey. There will always be more to learn, more to achieve, and more ways to evolve. But that's what makes life exciting. The moment you stop growing is the moment you stop living fully. So embrace the process, celebrate the small steps, the breakthroughs, and even the setbacks. Because every moment of growth is a moment of empowerment. It's a reminder that you are in control of your story and that your potential is limitless. The future is built on today's actions. The future isn't some distant, abstract concept. It's being created right now in this very moment. Every action you take today lays the foundation for the life you'll live tomorrow. And when you understand this, you realize the immense power you hold in shaping your destiny. I think of your future as a blank canvas. Every decision you make, every effort you put in, adds a stroke of color. Some strokes may be bold and confident, while others might be hesitant and uncertain. But together, they create a masterpiece, a reflection of your journey. Your actions today don't have to be monumental to make an impact. It's the small, consistent choices that matter most. Drinking water instead of soda. Spending 10 minutes reading instead of scrolling. Reaching out to a mentor for guidance. These actions may seem insignificant now, but over time, they create a future filled with health, knowledge, and opportunities. The future isn't something you wait for, it's something you build. And the tools you need are already in your hands. Your discipline, your mindset, your commitment to growth, these are the bricks and mortar of your dreams. It's easy to get caught up in worrying about what's ahead, but instead of focusing on the unknown, focus on what you can do today. Because every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, you're taking control of your future. Don't underestimate the power of daily effort. Imagine planting a seed. At first, it seems like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, roots are forming. And with time and care, that seed grows into a tree. Your actions today are those roots silently but powerfully shaping your future. Remember, the future isn't promised, but it is earned. And you earn it by showing up every day, ready to put in the work. It's not about luck or chance, it's about preparation and persistence. Even when the path feels uncertain, trust in the process. Trust that every small step you take today will lead you closer to your goals. And when you look back one day, you'll see that those seemingly small actions were the ones that made the biggest difference. So ask yourself, what can I do today to create the future I want? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be something. Because your future is waiting and it's being built one action at a time. The journey of 1% better every day. As we bring this conversation to a close, I want you to take a moment and think about where you are right now. not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Think about the version of yourself that walked into this room or started reading this speech. Now, think about the version of yourself you want to become. The gap between those two versions isn't insurmountable. It's simply a matter of commitment, patience, and the courage to take one small step every single day. The beauty of improving yourself by 1% daily is that it doesn't demand perfection. It doesn't ask you to change everything all at once. Instead, it invites you to embrace progress. It's a promise to yourself that no matter how small today's effort feels, it matters. Because success isn't built in leaps and bounds, it's built in moments of quiet perseverance. Every keynote we've discussed the power of small steps, the importance of consistency, the transformative strength of self-discipline, the mindset of belief, the celebration of small wins, the commitment to growth, and the recognition that today shapes tomorrow. Each one is a puzzle piece. Together, they form the bigger picture of your journey. This journey isn't about chasing perfection or living up to someone else's expectations. It's about honoring your potential. It's about waking up every day with the intention to be just a little better than you were yesterday. And that little better will multiply over time into something extraordinary. Yes, there will be setbacks. There will be days when it feels like you've taken 2 steps back for every step forward. But those days are part of the process. Growth isn't linear. It's messy, unpredictable, and at times frustrating. But it's also rewarding, liberating, and deeply fulfilling. Think about a river carving its path through a mountain. It doesn't do it in a day or even a year. It takes time, patience, and persistence. But eventually, that river shapes the landscape. Your efforts, no matter how small, have that same power. With consistency and determination, you can shape your life into something breathtaking. Remember, the person you are today is already enough. You don't need to be fixed or saved. You're not broken. You're simply in the process of becoming. And the commitment to improve yourself by just 1% each day is a gift to yourself, not because you're inadequate, but because you deserve to see how extraordinary you can be. This isn't just a speech about self-improvement. It's a call to action. It's a challenge to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what can I do today to honor my potential? Maybe it's learning a new skill. Maybe it's reaching out to someone you admire. Maybe it's simply resting and recharging so you can show up stronger tomorrow. And when you start to doubt, when the journey feels too long or the progress too slow, remind yourself of these small actions, repeated over time, create big results. Improvement isn't about speed, it's about direction. And as long as you're moving forward, you're winning. Your future isn't something you find, it's something you create. And the choices you make today are the brushstrokes of the masterpiece you're painting. So choose wisely, choose to invest in yourself. Choose to believe in the power of 1%. And here's the most powerful truth: this journey doesn't have an end. Self-improvement isn't a destination, it's a way of life. It's about constantly evolving, growing, and discovering new depths within yourself. It's about falling in love with the process of becoming. So, my friends, take this message with you, carry it in your heart, let it remind you on the hard days and the good ones that you have the power to change your life. Not all at once, but one small step at a time. The world needs people like you, people who are willing to grow, to rise, and to inspire others through their journey. When you commit to becoming better, you don't just transform yourself, you light the way for others to do the same. So start today, start now, improve yourself by 1%. And then do it again tomorrow, because the best version of you is waiting, and the journey to meet them begins with the smallest of steps.